Hi everybody and welcome back to FM23 with the Guiseley Youth Academy save. It's the end of season 6 and we're starting on Matt O'Keefe, who is our top goal scorer again for the season. His physicals just make him so much better. He has finishing 4, composure 9. In fact, he's even got off the ball 8, which isn't brilliant for runs and stuff, but he is our top goal scorer as we dive in here. 34 goals. We've got 1 game left to go. We're safe from relegation. It's been pretty rubbish, to be honest, the ending of this season. We won 2 of our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're probably going to lose this game against Fylde because they're so much better than us up in 3rd. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this works out. But yes, we beat Gateshead, went on a terrible run of a draw, loss, of which we really didn't play very well, and then we scraped a 2-1 win over Chester, which was very interesting. Cameron Thorpe got his first goal, the youngster that's just come through the youth academy. Again, no real finishing, no real composure, lots of pace. It seems to work at this level, but Cameron Thorpe has got his first goal for the club. Probably not going to be his last either, but a 2-1 win really wasn't convincing against Chester, but that meant that we needed a point from Scunthorpe to avoid relegation. And we lost, but all the other results went in our favour, so it doesn't really matter anyway, we stayed up. But Lyndon Clough got sent off, so he got his first red card of his senior career. He's sort of come in just because of what he can do and how he can play. I'm not too convinced by him at the moment. Terry Hogan will still be our starting right winger. But overall, the season's coming to an end. I thought, let's do a game against Fylde. We're going to do it how I've been playing it. So you'll see it in 2D with 3D replays, and we'll go into what it looked like afterwards and then go a bit of tactics talk, hopefully, and then we'll have a look at the end of season review. So let's get into the final game of the season. We'll come back and look at some stats afterwards. Might be a slightly longer episode, this one, but Guiseley in 17th take on Fylde in 3rd. Fylde not really fighting for anything. They've got a playoff spot. They're not going to get fully promoted because Newport County have won the league, and we are 5 points clear of Halifax Town. And it would, it'd be nice if Halifax Town could win and stay up, because if we beat them in the league, our supporters get happy, which is nice. But yes, I'll sort out the team. We'll be right back. Okay, so this is how we're going to be lining up. But interesting to note that we've got these obviously you wouldn't have seen this during the season, but this rest, in need of a rest. We're getting loads of players throughout the season now that they'll play a game and say, need a rest. And then they'll get like a little bit of part-time training, which will keep them a little bit tired, have 2 days off and then be fit to play. So yeah, I don't know how we're going to manage that next season, but we're going to go into this one. It's the final game of the season. We have nothing to play for. So what we're doing is just starting Scott Lloyd in goal, the youngster who, when he's played, has got a better average rating this season than Kyle Trineri, and both of them are now sort of rated at the same sort of ability. I do think Trineri's slightly better, but going into next season, Scott Lloyd may be becoming our starting goalkeeper. We're going to have Topless Burrow on the right because of a big injury it might be a suspension. Oh no, Harry Jordan is back. Oh no, yeah, he's not fully fit. So we're going to start Topless Burrow on the right, Byrne, Priestnell and Knight at the back, Salt and Adams in the middle, Hogan on the right, Christie in behind O'Keefe and Tarmy on the left. On the bench, we're going to go with the youngster Cameron Thorpe. Harry Jordan is on the bench. Trineri will keep on the bench for this one. McFadden on there as well, and Nate Ampadu is there as well. A couple of suspensions, a couple of injuries, knocking around, but not too much. Again, we're going to get to the end of the season. We'll do the end of season review, and then I'm going to have a big cull in the summer of all the people that I don't think are now good enough, given our new youth intakes and things like that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But for now, let's get into the final game of the season against Fylde. I'm expecting to lose because they're much better than us. But next year, maybe we push on and we get that promotion or playoffs would be lovely. So they're unbeaten in their last 5 games. I'm convinced we can... oh my God. They're first in form and we're 20th. Right, I'm convinced we can end their run. Let's go and spoil their party. Make sure they're not in the form for the playoffs that they want to be. So, we are playing in 2D. They've got 5 wins on the bounce. Yeah, okay. We're probably not going to win. We're probably not going to be very good at all. We're playing our young goalkeeper. A team full of regens, which is lovely to see, right? Or new gens, however you want to describe it. But yeah, it's all good, isn't it? We've looked at the league table. Everyone's settled in positions other than relegation. So let's just knock this down a little bit. So we're playing the 4-2-1-3, which has been very good for us all year. Obviously, we're in the yellow in this game. They're at home in the white, and we're going to see how this plays. We're sort of pressing a little bit. We're still looking for a lot of balls over the top. We're trying to control the ball in the midfield with Adams as a playmaker, and see what we can do. But generally, other teams around us have better players. That's probably, is that not a penalty? Okay. And we also, the amount of training I've done for my youngsters to say, let's get rid of dives into tackles, because we give away so many penalties where we just jump into tackles needlessly. But right, a long ball forward. Here we go. Right, so they've picked up the ball. Jackson's one of their centre-backs who's come up to claim it. And you can see we're sort of not pressing incredibly high, but we're keeping a pretty good line. I would argue that Priestnall's a bit all over the place. But the 4-2-3-1 is pretty obvious to see. We're trying to cut out, so Christie should cut out that. Tarmy should go and push the right back. If he goes over the top into number 12, then Knight at left back will go and push on as well. But we do have the two holding midfielders that will shuttle across and hopefully lock out the space. Jackson may go for a long ball forward. He does, and Priestnall, I called it that Priestnall was out of position, and Lloyd makes a really good save, but it was actually offside as well. So not too bad. Free kick goes wide. Not too much point in analysing free kicks, to be honest. But here we go. Topless Barrow into Christie. Well, he's tackled. That's the end of... Oh my God, it's a 2-on-1 straight away. But luckily we forced them backwards. Miller to Shipley. Kundi into Williams. Over the top looking for Stutter. Stutter is going to put this ball in, and Topless Barrow tackles in well. Hogan. Now, can we counter? And this is what we want to do with the counter-attack. Hogan's got so much pace. Hogan's still going. Do it for Montserrat. He nearly did. But he put it wide as a goal kick goes long. Priestnall with a good header. O'Keefe drops a little bit deep. We'll try and pause it in a minute so you can see what we're trying to do tactically. Now, actually, this is a bit more of a defensive shape than what we've been using in the lower divisions. Hogan's in. Hogan! It's a terrible finish. We're using fullbacks rather than wingbacks, so we don't actually overlap too much. We're actually relying on more sort of long balls forward into the front three rather than getting men up to support it. But Miller puts it in. Tarmy's there to control, but boots it away. Here is Holland over the top. Miller flicks it in. Byrne wins the header. Adams, Christie down to Tarmy. You can see that long ball over the top, and O'Keefe's pace normally gets him in on those, and his physical attributes means he can sort of fight off defenders. Adams wins the header, flicks it away. Hogan's there. This is going to end in a goal for someone. Oh, he's missed. He's absolutely ballooned it, but not bad. So Lloyd, long ball forward. Christie is up there. Salt flicks it into Tarmy. So normally what you would see, where Tarmy's drifted in over here, would normally have, last season we had these as wing backs. So Knight would have been bombing on probably up here somewhere. Topless Barrow would have bombed on a bit more to put pressure on up here and give an option. But because we're weaker players in this division, what we've done is sat deeper and sort of kept a more sort of normal back four, I would say, a more traditional back four. But so it worked out there, right? Knight intercepted the long ball forward, which means they couldn't counter as easily. But what tends to happen is that our youngsters are still pretty bad in the air at judging headers, and we miss quite a lot of headers at the back. And I'm not putting that down to a match engine thing. I'm putting that down to our players are pretty terrible, and that's just a part of the game when you have bad defenders. They can't judge it in the air. They can't judge the flight of the ball. But yeah. We're not doing too bad. 30 minutes gone. We're playing the team third in the division. We are terrible at defending corners. Luckily, we do get that one away, although not brilliantly cleared by Christie. Shot goes past the post, and Lloyd still has that clean sheet, which is very good to see. Topless Barrow on a yellow, so we're going to have to ask him to just ease off his tackles a little bit. My voice is going. I'm going to have to cut for a cough, I think, in a minute. Adams into Christie. Salt, ball through. O'Keefe, the keeper's come out. Oh, go round him. Go round him, O'Keefe. That's a chance. That's a big chance, that, for Guiseley. Big chance. So here comes Fard again. Ball through. Easy ball through to Burns. Tries to square it. It is cleared away. And Salt was there as well. But half-time, 0-0. Again, not too fast. We've not been very good attacking-wise, let's be honest. But we're playing well. Keep it going. Work hard till full-time. O'Keefe not really getting in the game too much. We could potentially look to not work the ball into the box and just try and give O'Keefe a little bit more freedom if he gets through, or if we get players in here. I'd argue we're not really working it into the box anyway, so that's a bit of a pointless instruction. We're not getting enough men forward to support, but if we get men forward to support, we're probably going to struggle because of Fild's, better players. As it's flicked on Burt. Now, here we go. This could be a counter as Hogan brings it forward. O'Keefe, that's where he's... Oh, well, he's in. O'Keefe's in. Oh, it's 1-0. Come on, Matt O'Keefe. 35th goal of the season. Lovely stuff. I was going to say... O'Keefe's pour off the ball there didn't give Hogan a run. Because if you look here, Hogan cuts inside. O'Keefe just runs in between the two defenders, which is just not very good. But what actually happens is that it then sends that defender on a little walk. He's all the way over there. He's walked as much as my dog does. O'Keefe just dinks it like sort of through the goalkeeper. And it's 1-0, which is absolutely awesome. We're going to drop down to balance now that we've got the lead. And yeah, wow, we're beating Fylde, which is incredible. Shipley with a throw in. Miller back to Shipley. Over the top. Oh, that's an easy square pass. Oh, he didn't even have to square it. Sam Burns puts it in. It's 1-1 straight away. Immediate response as Miller picked it up. There's not too much we could do there. I think we've just turned off maybe one of the holding midfielders. Salt has pushed up a little bit too soon. I don't know if that's because he's on the ball winner, so he wants to go and press the ball a little bit more. But both teams have had one shot on target, one goal, which, yeah, isn't stinking of a good game, is it? That good. Griffiths, ball in. And, oh, by the way, I've changed some of my microphone settings. So if I'm now coming across really loud or really quiet, I apologise, but I'll try and sort it out in editing. Right, we've got a little bit of 2 yellow cards at the back, which I'm not too happy about. We'll get Knight just to ease off. We don't want any stupid red cards. So who's not playing very well? Hogan's not having a good game. We're going to bring Harry Jordan in for Topless Burrow, which actually means we can then go to a fullback on attack with Jordan. He is slightly more. Do we want to do that? Yeah, let's push Jordan up a little bit harder and try and get a goal. We'll go for the win. Tony Hogan. We could potentially take Tony Hogan off and give Thorpe a run up front. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put Thorpe up front. We'll put O'Keefe over this side as the inside forward, and we'll do 2 subs for now. See how that goes. So Jordan and Thorpe on. I mean, Thorpe has blistering pace. He's not brilliant in front of goal, but he has blistering pace. Christie with the corner is going to swing this one in. It's headed away from Priestnall. Salt will get there. Into Byrne. Byrne back to Jordan. Over the top looking for O'Keefe, who's now playing on that side. He puts the ball in. It's headed away. I'm expecting we do get tired at the end of games, and when we've got a lead, I do sort of try and clamp it down. Oh, Lloyd just let it get into his box to pick that one up. But this is a good idea, right? You can see here, we've got this defensive 4, then we've got Salt who's playing as a defensive midfielder. This Adams is on support as a playmaker, but from this position from the goalkeeper, we've got 4 on 5, so we're in a pretty good position. It's just how good Lloyd's kicking is, which isn't amazing. I've also learned something new about goalkeepers since playing this save, that kicking, because I read one of the little hints that comes up, although Burns, we'll just get back to that. Burns is in behind, yeah, and that's the ball we always get caught out on. We could have dropped our line a little bit. I've not seen too much of Fard putting those sort of balls in over the top, but Jackson just hoofs it long. It was Knight caught out of possession, or out of position anyway. He could have arguably been offside, and Stutter sort of stutters it over the line, if you will. Priestnall and Knight, I think, are being blamed for that goal. So 20 minutes to go. We're probably going to fall apart now, to be honest. Let's bring on... We could do McFadden for Tarmy. Yeah, let's just put in not for Tarmy, sorry, for Christie in behind. We'll put McFadden in there at the moment. I mean, yeah, we could potentially do a little bit of changing now because we're running out of energy. So, out of possession, we'll drop off. We'll try and trap them inside and force them out wide. Don't go and press as much. Don't need to go and stop them playing out from the back, although they haven't really been doing that. I mean, counter and counter press is always the one that's going to kill your players. So we'll just take counter press off for now. See how we get on with that. But a little bit, I don't really want to drop back to a low defensive line. I feel like that puts a bit too much pressure on our defence. But Priestnall goes long. It's going to be picked up by Christie, who's still on the pitch. He finds Tarmy, but easy for the Fylde defenders to intercept that one. Excuse me. And now we just need to make sure we keep our shape. Miller into Stutter. Stutter gets into the area. Back to Miller. Shot, and Lloyd with a good save. I mean, I don't feel like Lloyd's had a bad game. I don't feel like he's had a bad game. A 6.6 at the moment. We've also got Hervetzi coming back from loan, so I'd like to see how he's sort of developed while being on loan. I haven't really checked in on our loanees out there, but Salt with a corner. Can we make it 2-2 with 14 minutes to go? Thorpe tried to get ahead on it. O'Keefe back to Salt. Ball in again, headed away. Yeah, we're just lacking a little bit of final quality that I'm hoping with one more year, one more season being played at higher level football, that our players improve enough to allow us to progress and challenge a little bit, maybe not challenge, but be a bit more safe next year, because this year has been a proper struggle. I mean, we've got the record amount of draws for Guiseley, I think, with 16 this season. But yeah, we need to be in a little bit of a better position. And I know a lot of you won't like 2D, but it is easier for me to see tactically what's going right and what's going wrong. So at the moment, Farder, they're creating chances. I think we have dropped off. We are getting tired. That's a good header away from Tarmy at the back post. Taylor's in. Lloyd with a good save again. Let's just encourage them. I think we'll go back to positive. I'd like to see us try and get the equaliser. We've not really done much since changing our tactics, so I think we're going to have to go more direct. Let's get the ball forward. We'll put in those low crosses for the pace in behind. We'll have a bit more width. There's not too much more we can do. Let's go quickly, just go over the defence. And do we want to step up? No, I don't think we do want to step up. We want to do that. Yeah, I was saying about goalkeepers. So goalkeeper kicking is actually how far he can kick it. The attributes that goalkeepers have for kicking means how far can he kick it up the pitch. How accurate he is with his kicking comes down to passing. And Tarmy has got injured, which is a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? Let's go strikerless then. Let's go. We'll put Thorpe out there and go strikerless. So we're down to 10 men with a couple of minutes to go, and it's not been a dreadful game. This is how a lot of the games have gone this season, and sometimes we nick a win, sometimes we nick an equaliser, and sometimes we defend like that and we concede 3 goals. So I won't count. He's offside. We'll say we played for it. But yeah, I think they are both offside. They've slightly adapted their tactics to play more long balls in this last sort of 20 minutes, and dropping off hasn't really helped, and our defenders are just not the best at dealing with balls in the air. So I'm not too sure what we can do about that. Let me know down below. We do need some good centre-backs to come through with heading capabilities. Burns has now scored. That was onside. And, yeah, 3-1. I mean, I'm not too fussed. Farder in form. They're playing pretty well. It's the end of the season. Are they going to make it 4? We do have this thing where our players are very knackered at the end of the season. We don't have the fitness. We don't have the training facilities to allow us to improve our fitness that well. So I'm more focusing training on tactics and making the players' attributes better, to be honest. But a 3-1 loss, I think we'll say, look, you did yourself proud. I'm not really that fussed. It's the end of the season. Go and enjoy your holidays with your family and get your flip-flops on and all that good stuff. So lovely, lovely stuff. But we do finish in 18th, 5 points ahead of relegation, and Halifax go down. Oh, they couldn't get the win to keep them in the division. I guess our supporters will be happy to see them go down, but I wanted to play them next year. Twisted ankle, 3 to 4 weeks. Halifax go into the National League North or South, which will be the North for them. But yeah, there we go. That's the end of the season. We'll be back for the end of season review, which would fly through a bit quicker in this one, I think. Here we are then for the end of season review. 28-29 season, and season 6 of this comes to an end. Obviously, Malcolm Waters was the only one out. Yeah, he went on a free transfer to Port Mardog. Great team name. Vanarama National League. So not too bad. 18th, the Border Please. The team staved off relegation from the National League this season. And I think it's good. Matt O'Keefe, 29 goals in league, 38% attendance. It's going up every year, so which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. 5 points clear. I don't think we could really ask for more. When that many teams get relegated, when 4 teams go down, it's just about survival. And we just about did it. We do need to change, again, some of these losses into draws and draws into wins. And we'll be flying up the table. But annoyingly, so many good teams are going to be staying here, and the board still won't make us professional because they don't have the money to do it. The FA Cup, you know, we reached the first round of the FA Cup and lost to Stevenage 5-1 in the second leg. Builder Base probably could have done better, but the board don't seem too fussed about that either way. Matt O'Keefe was the top goal scorer in all competitions, by the way, which is obviously interesting to know. 5-1, we beat Oxford City. Lovely stuff in the FA Cup. O'Keefe getting 4 in that one. We beat Halifax Town, our rivals, 6-3, which the board and the supporters were absolutely delighted with. But the goal of the season was scored by Christie in the 71st minute of this game against Altrincham. So let's go and have a quick look at that one, have a recap of my memory. They went down to 10 men, and Christie took advantage of this one. Was it a free kick? I don't think it was a free kick, but it might be. It was a free kick. I mean, we don't need to see that in 3D. It was a free kick from a long way out. Let's see. It is all stored up here somewhere. But and then on to the finances. So the reputation hasn't changed over the season, but we did get a big boost last season apparently. Sponsorship is stayed the same. I hate the way it's red, even though it stays the same. Make it amber or something. Broadcast revenue's gone up for the National League. Corporate and hospitality's gone up. Prize money's gone down. No run in either of the cups. But matchday commercial and retail has gone up. 26.9k coming from shirt sales, and O'Keefe, Tarmy, Byrne, Hogan and Jordan, all regens or new gens. Lovely stuff in that. And yeah, this is how we lined up. So Trineri, probably the most disappointing player stepping up into this division. And Dave Mills, as we discussed earlier in the last video, really struggling at this level. 6.55. If I had a good enough replacement to come in, he probably would have been kicked to the curb a long time ago, but luckily for him, it's youngsters that were just not as good as him on the bench. So, yeah, and I think midfield have struggled this season a little bit as well. We need to get a bit more out of our front. Everyone needs to play better next season, basically. But then we got the manager of... we got the Vanarama National League North manager of the season. I don't know why that's being shown right here because we're in the next season. But Club Awards, O'Keefe, Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. Christie, Goal of the Season. O'Keefe, top goal scorer with 35. Tarmy, most assisters with 12. So he got a nice little bonus in his contract because of that. O'Keefe, most player of the matches. O'Keefe, highest average rating. And Paul Byrne with the most passes completed per 90 minutes. So Matt O'Keefe pretty much having a clean sweep there. Nothing competition-wise. Most goals by a player in a season, 35 for Matt O'Keefe. Most goals by a player in a match, 4, Matt O'Keefe. Most goals by a player in a league match, 4, Matt O'Keefe. Most league appearances by a player, Carl Trineri, 301 appearances for the club. He's doing really well. Adam Hoare did score this year, so he's now put his tally to 111 goals by a single player for the club. And Stephen Harris was the youngest record player, 15 years, 255 days. He came on as a winger in one of our earlier games after the intake, basically. The first one straight after the intake is when that happened. They're saying it was our good start to the season what helped us avoid relegation. I mean, we were top of the table after the first game, so that's definitely going to help. But overall, I think, we were sort of helped out by the crapness of the other teams around us. I mean, we probably didn't deserve to stay up with how well we played, but we did, and the table doesn't lie. So yeah, so it's been pretty good, hasn't it? It's been pretty good. We have flown through that, and you got a bit of game time as well. So we're going to be back for season 7. Hopefully I can get season 7 recorded before I go away on holiday. And we can go, but I'm not promising anything. We may be halfway through a season, then have a week off and then come back. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you think about season 6. Was it a successful season? Did you expect us to do a bit more? Are you just happy if we survived relegation? It's all looking pretty good. A good number of youngsters coming through again. I'll have a big review of the squad, cull off some of those people that aren't playing at all or are too old for the under 18s and not getting any game time and won't go out on loan or don't have loan bids and stuff like that. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'm out. Cheers.